Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Some members of Oxford High School's class of 2023 want to wear a symbol of survival at their graduation ceremony, but they are getting pushback from the administration. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillion.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Many of the students graduating from Oxford High this year were in the building that day when 4 of their classmates were shot and killed. And now some want to take part in a trend they feel connected with involving graduation attire. Here's a look at what we're talking about. Orange honor cords symbolizing advocacy for gun violence prevention. Tonight, the superintendent is explaining why she's not on board with all of this. Will Jones live with the story for us tonight. Will.
Kimberly, there will be quite a bit of orange at Oxford High School's commencement this Thursday from the students and even among the audience members. But the superintendent says she doesn't want to lose focus on the intent of a graduation ceremony. It's been a challenging 4 years for the Oxford High School class of 2023, surviving a school shooting in 2021 and a pandemic.
Been very excited to just start my life and go to college, get a fresh start.
Oxford Community Schools handed out navy and gold cords at graduation rehearsal to seniors to pay tribute to the strength and fortitude it has taken for them to make it to commencement. This coming in response to some students wanting to wear orange cords to reflect that they're gun violence survivors. Orange is a color associated with gun violence awareness.
I did have a few conversations with one of my administrators.
Superintendent Dr. Vicki L. Markovich saying in a statement, "The reason I am not approving or endorsing the orange cord that is being distributed by an outside organization is because the tradition of Oxford High School's graduation has been to keep the focus solely on students and their accomplishments. My endorsement of other symbolic graduation wear would set a precedent that could erode that tradition and, more importantly, the focus on students and their accomplishments." Even without district approval, some students are still planning to wear orange cords or something orange at commencement.
It's important for a community that has been through what we've been through to make a statement.
The district also gave out charm tassels for seniors to wear with pictures of their classmates, one who was killed in that shooting in November of 2021, as well as one who was killed in a car accident. Kimberly?
And Will, I know Oxford students have said to you they don't want to be defined by the shooting.
Yeah, Kimberly, that was one day of their life. It was extremely tough. They're going to remember it forever. They lost some of their friends, some of their classmates, but that was just one day of their life. They want to reflect on all the memories they have from kindergarten all the way to high school, the friends that they made, the high school activities that they participated in. It was just one day, but they're going to be thinking about this day for the rest of their life, certainly.
So, okay, Will, we appreciate your report tonight.
A woman runs to a neighbor for safety after 2 men break into her home in Roseville. And as police investigated, one of them ended up firing his gun. Happened at a house on Martin and Maple, just west of Gratiot. Sean Lay live with more on this turn of events that turned very violent and understandably has neighbors concerned. Sean.
Absolutely, Devin. We went door to door in that Roseville neighborhood talking to neighbors. This was loud. It was startling, and they wanted to look outside and find out what in the world was going on right outside their front doors.
Just helping my folks out, and I just heard a huge commotion, and then I looked out the door, and there's police everywhere, and I thought I heard some gunfire.
The peace and quiet of this Roseville neighborhood was shattered last night when 2 men shattered this side door to a home on Martin at Maple. Police say the men were armed with knives and this was a home invasion. The victim, a 38-year-old woman. Police say the men held a knife up to her neck and demanded money. She broke free, ran to a home next door to call 911. Police quickly found 2 26-year-old men nearby and took them into custody after a short standoff. David Stroh watched all of this go down.
It was wild. There was at least 6, 7 cop cars running down the street. There's cops everywhere.
There's more. Roseville police had its canine out to track the suspects. That's when the woman's dog charged out of the home, police say, and towards the canine and its handler. He fired a shot, killing the dog.
I don't know. I hope it's not somebody from here. I hope it doesn't happen again. That's all. I've been safe here. Like I said, I lived here for over 56 years.
56 years. Other interesting thing about this with the neighbors seeing and hearing all this, there's a couple of Roseville Facebook pages where neighbors that could see what was happening were updating other neighbors in real time on those Facebook pages. Meantime, Roseville police say the whole thing remains under investigation. Back to you.
All right, Sean.
A 2-year-old girl is killed in a fire in Monroe County. That fire broke out yesterday in a home in the Willow Green Mobile Home Park in Monroe Township. Firefighters found the 2-year-old child inside the home and rushed her to the hospital where she died from her injuries. Investigators are still looking into the cause and are asking anyone with information to come forward.
So what happens if you cross the U.S.-Canada border in an electric vehicle? U.S. Transportation Secretary visiting Detroit today to announce what's being called a BiNational EV Corridor. Pamela Osborne was at the event which just wrapped up. Pamela, this is all about ensuring charging is available on both sides of the border.
That's right, and this really was a fitting place to make that announcement right here along the Detroit River as we learn more about this plan to build that, as you said, first ever BiNational electric vehicle corridor, which will stretch all the way from Kalamazoo to Quebec. Every 50 miles along that 75,000-mile stretch is going to have a DC fast charger. Michigan is expected to receive more than $100 million in federal funds to help build this EV infrastructure, which is part of a larger plan to build 500,000 public EV charging stations across the country, with the goal of having 50% of all new vehicle sales in the U.S. electric sales by 2030. We heard from an IBEW 58 person about the training that's already underway to get workers ready to build and support that infrastructure, with the idea being to encourage folks to go electric and to make things a little easier for those who want to make that transition.
As so many people here know, the EV revolution is already well underway. Consumers, industries, and global markets are already heading very quickly in that direction. So the only real question now is whether the benefits of that EV revolution will be accessible to every driver, whether America and its partners will lead the way, and whether it will all happen quickly enough to make the difference we need it to in the fight against climate change. And we are working to make sure the answer to all three of those questions is a resounding yes.
And there is another first coming to the city of Detroit. 14th Street is going to be transformed into a wireless EV charging street that will be the first ever of its kind in the entire country. So certainly a lot on the horizon, a lot to look forward to. Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
How about that? All right, Pamela.
2 Warren men are charged with felonies in connection with stealing a lot of frozen fish. Erwin Wilson, an employee of LaPerry Foods, and Michael Mitchell allegedly took the fish from the LaPerry warehouse last Thursday. The Macomb County prosecutor says Wilson loaded the fish into Mitchell's Cadillac Escalade, which was then stopped by police who found the stolen seafood. Wilson is charged with embezzlement, less than $100,000, which is a 15-year felony. Mitchell is charged with receiving and concealing stolen property, which is a 5-year felony.
Lawmakers have called for more rules and regulation around artificial intelligence, but first they need to understand it. The CEO behind ChatGPT made his first appearance on Capitol Hill since the viral chatbot started making waves late last year, and it was our first glimpse at what Congress wants to know and what the tech industry itself sees as the greatest risks.
The next big thing in technology is already here, and Congress is playing catch-up.
Too often, we have seen what happens when technology outpaces regulation.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman testifying before a Senate Judiciary Subcommittee Tuesday amid concerns sparked by his company's chatbot tool, ChatGPT.
My worst fears are that we cause significant harm to the world.
Artificial intelligence has generated many fears, replacing or disrupting human jobs, spreading misinformation, perpetuating biases, becoming too prolific or even powerful.
I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
And it's drawing skepticism from the public, from lawmakers, and even the tech industry.
I can't recall when we've had people representing large corporations come before us and plead with us to regulate them.
Altman said he's mindful of the risks, but there are benefits to pursuing the technology responsibly.
We are working to build tools that one day can help us make new discoveries and address some of humanity's biggest challenges, like climate change and curing cancer.
The federal government's notable failure to regulate social media serving as a wake-up call.
Sensible safeguards are not in opposition to innovation.
As AI's real potential remains uncertain.
What kind of an innovation is it going to be? Is it going to be like the printing press, or is it going to be more like the atom bomb?
Regulations are already taking shape in other parts of the world, such as the AI Act, which is under consideration right now in the European Parliament, and that would ban AI apps that can be used for, among other things, manipulation, deception, exploitation, and predicting criminal offenses.
Wow.
There's a lot.
It is a whole
It is the question
lot.
of our time, isn't it?
It is coming fast.
Yep.
All right, let's get over to Kim Adams. Our weather changing kind of fast here. A little bit of a roller coaster we're on, Kim.
Definitely, and changing quickly right now as the frontal boundary is coming down off Lake Huron. You can already see the winds have shifted around in Sandusky and Port Huron. Winds are picking up as well, with gusts anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour with the passage of this cold front. You can see exactly where the cold front is by looking at the temperatures as well. 55 in Port Huron, but still 80 in the city. So temperatures dropping very quickly behind the frontal boundary. It's already down to 61 in Sandusky. The front is yet to come through Mount Clemens, Pontiac, Metro, and Monroe, but it will over the next several hours. And when it does, those temperatures will really start to drop. But as of right now, it is 15 degrees warmer than it was yesterday at the same time in Grosse Ile. But look where the front is, 18 degrees colder right now in Port Huron. So when you send the kids off to the bus stop tomorrow morning, you're going to feel that cold air, 43 degrees, 60 in the afternoon. And we're not done there. It could be some frost tomorrow night.